What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick update about Tesla and the broader markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So Tesla got this rejection. We ended up losing 444 as our support. So we're going to be watching 438 next. This is going to be our next support. If that fails us, I think Tesla could be going as low as 433 or below. So for now, we are looking a bit more bearish. We're showing some weakness compared to the overall market. SPY and the QQQ, they did pump and then reject. They are a bit in the red, but they have not lost any critical support yet. Tesla is starting to lose some support, but we haven't really lost like 433 yet. I could see this decline more if that continues to fail, if we can't get back up of 440. So keep that in mind. The downside risk is still there. So for the news, I just wanted to say that we got the consumer inflationary expectations very close to what we saw before. And then the 3 and 6 month bill auctions are basically coming out very soon, but that's not really too impactful. For Tesla, the reason why Tesla is down is because Morgan Stanley has given them a downgrade, at least to some extent. What I mean by that is that they actually raised their price target to $425 a share from $410 a share compared to before. But overall, they're giving Tesla an equal weight rating, meaning that they're saying to just hold on to your Tesla shares, and they have downgraded from a buy rating. Before they were saying buy Tesla, now they're saying hold on to it, and that's bit of a downgrade. Another thing is that when you look at their overall assessments, they are bullish when it comes to the robotaxi, but they're not as confident about Tesla's sales. And they talked about how there's going to be a lot of fluctuations for next year. So they're not as optimistic for next year. They think that Tesla sales might not be the strongest. That's part of why I think that we're seeing Tesla selling off because of this negative news. Now, on top of this, there's more headlines coming out about how we're seeing the UK sales falling. They're currently down about 19% compared to last November. We saw about 3,784 new Teslas sold in the UK in November, by the way, a bit of a decrease. However, what is good is that the Chinese sales are up, according to data from the China Passenger Car Association. The sales are up quite a bit for the month of November. And here's some more data from Roland. He was talking about how China reported 73,145 Tesla sales at 3.3% market share in November. And we also saw a new record for BEVs. Tesla also has about 8.8% of the segment for just BEVs. And then on top of this, their sales are up about quite a bit. We're up about 7.2% compared to what we saw in the like June to August period. And then year to date, they're saying that the sales are actually down like about 8%, but compared to the previous month, they're up a little bit. So November was a slight improvement, but overall, compared to like last year, they are down a little bit. But it's not too bad. It's pretty decent overall, especially since the month over month is looking better. You can see the data right over here. As you guys can see how like October was more quiet than November. November is a little bit stronger. And we also saw an increase overall. We're going to see how things end up going, at least for the month of November. The numbers in November are actually very similar to what we saw in 2025 is very similar to what we saw in 2024. So right here, so that's not too bad. Hopefully we get a strong December to offset this. Typically, December is very strong for sales. And then we'll see how the numbers look, especially heading into the end of the year. We're in a decent place right now since we had a strong November. Hopefully December is strong and we surpass what we saw in the third quarter. And that's it for our data. So far, the sales are keeping up with 2023, at least in China. It's just that the European sales are where the sales are weak, and that is what's causing Tesla to see some weakness overall. But we'll see how it goes. With that being said, what do I see for Tesla? Like I said before, I want to see us reclaim 440. If we don't, we're looking for 438 as our next support, followed by 433 if that fails us. So watch that 433 area. We're going to see if we hold or not. Otherwise, there is some downside risk. We need to get back above 440. If not, I do anticipate some more downside. On SPY, we're testing this green line right here. So see the green line. Basically, this is where SPY likes to bounce our 20 EMA. We bounced, and bounced. But in this case, we're watching to see if this is going to be acting as support. If it does not hold, I'm looking for this 682 area. So 682 to 683 is a nice support range. If that fails, let's expect further downside on SPY. If we could hold this, this could attempt to bounce, and there's no confirmation the top is in yet, but it could be. Of course, I'm going to wait and see. The reason I say that is because we're still technically in this range. SPY has been holding the 683s for quite some time, but also we're rejecting near 688. So we're in a range. We're not bullish or super bearish yet. We could turn more bearish if we start losing these supports, but as of right now, we're in the middle. So watch this critical support between 682 and 683, and we'll see if we dip more. On the QQQ, we're showing some more weakness. I think 622 is where this support happens to be between 622 and 623. If we lose the 622s, we could be dipping back down towards the low we saw from Thursday, back down to like 619, and then 615 is going to be next. So to be bullish, of course, you want to break 628. If not, we're looking for essentially 622, and then there could be some more downside risk. So be very careful. On the IW, we have a triple top right here. We could be dipping all the way down to 250 if we don't hold 252, so be very careful. ES got this bearish divergence and a rejection. We're going to see if 6,900 holds. If not, we're looking for 68.37, so you want to be very careful if we do end up dipping more. NQ has a double top rejection. We're going to see if we could hold 25,675. If we don't, we could be tipping back down to 25,000, 575. So there's some downside risk. On Bitcoin, we're range bound right now. As we hit 92,000, we like to reject, but as we hit around 88,000, we like to bounce. So we're stuck in the middle. I just see this consolidating for now, but there is some downside risk if we get a big rejection. Like I said before, Tesla has 438 as the level to watch for. If not, 433 is possible next. I see some weakness in Tesla stock, so be careful. Of course, this is just another opportunity, but we're going to be very, very patient with this, especially heading into FOMC. Nvidia pushed to about 185 and rejected. As of right now, we're range bound between 185 and 180, but there is some downside risk. For Apple, we're on the downtrend. We got another rejection. We're going to see if this continues to fall. We were talking about downside yesterday, and I think 275 is coming or below. If that fails us, we could be dipping all the way down to like 272 next if that fails. But we'll see. Watch 275 next on Apple stock. Palantir is still holding up well. We're testing some tough resistance near 182. This is where we had some consolidation. So we're going to see if we consolidate here. If we get a rejection or not, we're at some tough resistance near 182.5. AMD is also very flat, kind of like Nvidia, but we have not broken the 222 area to break out. We have also not lost 270 to start dipping more. We're in the middle, so we're just range bound, but we could be rejecting later on. Coinbase dipped and bounced. It's in the middle right now. We need to break 280 to be bullish or lose 270 to be bearish. Otherwise, we're stuck in the middle. On Amazon, we're making lower highs. We're going to see if we hold 231. If we don't, we could be dipping back down to 225. On Meta, we have support at 666. We're going to see if this holds. If not, we're looking for 656 next. Google has a rejection here. We're going to see if we hold 318. If not, we could be dipping to like 312. And then Microsoft has resistance right here around this 492 area, and we'll see how it goes. Last but not least, the VIX is showing a lot of life right now because we had a bullish falling wedge. We're going to see if the bottom is in for the VIX. If it is, this may continue to rocket higher, and this could be a sign the stock market has formed a top, and we're about to start the pullback. Of course, we don't have confirmation yet. We have to wait and see what happens with FOMC and all these things that are approaching. But keep in mind, with this bullish falling wedge, the VIX is showing a lot of life, and there is risk of more downside on SPY and the QQQ. If the market dumps more, that could also drag Tesla lower, so you want to be very careful, especially heading into FOMC. So for now, Tesla's chopping around the 438s. If that fails us, there's going to be more downside risk. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please enjoy the rest of your guys' days. I'll be back very soon with another update in just a couple of hours. Until then, I wish you all the best and peace out.